Stop scrolling right now and listen carefully because what you are about to read will completely change how you see this story. If you think you already know what happened between Shen Yu and Bai Lu, think again. Stay until the very end because the moment Shen Yu said those unforgettable words, everything shifted and no one was prepared for the emotional earthquake that followed. And if you believe you understand loyalty, ambition, and rivalry in the entertainment world, this story will challenge you to question everything. It all started with silence. The kind of silence that feels heavier than noise. For weeks, fans had been sensing tension. Subtle unfollows. Interviews that felt slightly off. Smiles that did not fully reach the eyes. Social media comments that looked harmless at first glance but carried hidden meanings beneath polished captions. Shen Yu had always been known for her calm energy. Soft-spoken but firm. Warm but observant. She was never the type to react impulsively. That is why when rumors began swirling about Bai Lu making indirect remarks that seemed to undermine her, fans expected Shen Yu to stay quiet. She usually did. She always chose grace. But this time was different. The night everything exploded was at a private industry gathering inside a luxury hotel ballroom glowing with golden lights. The room shimmered with elegance. Crystal chandeliers reflected across marble floors. Designers, directors, producers, and rising stars filled the space with laughter that felt rehearsed. Cameras were everywhere. Whispers were even louder than the music. Shen Yu walked in wearing a deep emerald gown that flowed like confidence. Her expression was composed. Focused. She greeted colleagues politely. Her smile measured and intentional. Across the room stood Bai Lu, radiant in silver, surrounded by a circle of industry elites. First, they did not acknowledge each other. But tension travels faster than footsteps. Someone mentioned a recent project opportunity. Someone else laughed and said progress requires courage and not everyone can keep up. The comment floated in the air like a challenge. Heads subtly turned toward Shen Yu. Bai Lu responded with a smile that looked effortless. She spoke about evolution. About outgrowing certain collaborations. About refusing to be held back by past associations. Her tone was smooth, polished, but the message felt pointed. The room shifted. And then Shen Yu stepped forward. No raised voice. No dramatic gesture. Just steady eye contact and a calm tone that cut through the ballroom like clarity slicing confusion. She said slowly and clearly that ambition without respect becomes destruction. She said progress should elevate everyone, not erase those who helped build the foundation. Then she paused. The silence tightened. Every camera leaned in. And then she said the words that would ignite the internet within minutes. You are an enemy of progress when you rewrite history to make yourself the hero. The sentence did not need volume. It needed truth. And it landed. Bai Lu's smile flickered for a split second. The confidence in her posture shifted ever so slightly. The crowd froze between shock and fascination. No one expected Shen Yu to speak so directly. No one expected her to confront the narrative so openly. But she was not finished. She continued that growth should never require stepping on someone else's contribution. She spoke about loyalty, about gratitude, about remembering the hands that supported you before the spotlight grew brighter. Her voice never shook. Her composure never cracked. But her words carried weight that echoed far beyond the ballroom walls. Within minutes, clips began circulating online. Hashtags exploded across platforms. Fans divided into camps. Some applauded Shen Yu for finally speaking her truth. Others accused her of escalating tension publicly. Comment sections became battlefields of opinions. But the most shocking moment came later that evening. After the confrontation, instead of leaving, Shen Yu stayed. She continued greeting guests. She laughed lightly during conversations. She posed for photos with effortless elegance. She refused to let the narrative paint her as unstable or emotional. She looked composed, intentional, in control. Meanwhile, Bai Lu retreated into private discussions with her team. Observers noticed the shift. The energy around her circle grew tighter. Conversations looked strategic, calculated. Damage control seemed imminent. The next morning, interviews flooded the internet. Industry insiders hinted that the tension had been building for months. Some claimed that a major collaborative project had been secretly altered. Others whispered about creative disagreements behind closed doors. A once promising partnership that quietly fractured under ambition and pride. But what made this story truly unforgettable was not just the confrontation. It was the confession that followed days later. In a live broadcast that drew millions of viewers, Shen Yu addressed the situation without mentioning names. She spoke about the cost of silence, about choosing to protect peace for too long, about the emotional weight of watching your efforts minimized while pretending everything is fine. Her eyes were steady but reflective. She admitted she had hesitated to speak. She admitted she feared being misunderstood. But she said there comes a point when protecting your dignity becomes more important than protecting someone else's comfort. The comment section flooded with support. Viewers praised her honesty. Fans replayed the clip repeatedly. Reaction channels analyzed every word. The phrase "enemy of progress" became symbolic. Not just a statement. Movement. What stunned everyone even more was Bai Lu's eventual response. Instead of directly attacking, she posted a cryptic message about resilience and misunderstood intentions. She emphasized personal growth and forward-thinking. But she never denied the tension. She never clarified the accusations. And that silence spoke volumes. Industry analysts began discussing the deeper implications. Was this rivalry manufactured or genuine? Was it about creative control or personal betrayal? Was it about ambition colliding with loyalty? Behind the scenes, insiders revealed that a collaborative project between the two had indeed been in development. A drama series that promised to dominate ratings. But creative direction disagreements reportedly caused friction. Scripts were revised. Scenes were reassigned. Promotional focus shifted. And somewhere along the process, trust dissolved. Fans revisited old interviews. They noticed subtle hints of strain that had once gone unnoticed. Slight pauses, careful wording, compliments that felt formal rather than heartfelt. The story evolved from a simple confrontation into a larger conversation about fame and integrity. About how success can either unite or divide. About how ambition can either inspire or isolate. Weeks passed, but the phrase remained. Enemy of progress. It appeared on fan art, on discussion threads, on motivational posts reframed with broader meaning. For many viewers, it became a reminder that true progress does not require betrayal, that growth built on dismissal is fragile. The most mind-blowing twist came during an award ceremony months later. Both actresses were nominated in the same category. The tension was almost cinematic. Cameras intentionally cut between their faces. The audience waited for signs. When the winner was announced, it was Shen Yu. As she walked to the stage, the room stood. Applause thundered. He thanked her team. She thanked her supporters. And then she said something that stunned even her critics. She said progress is not about winning against someone. It is about becoming better than your past self. She said forgiveness is strength. She said growth without bitterness is the ultimate victory. And then she smiled. Not sharp. Not defensive. Just peaceful. In that moment, the rivalry narrative softened. The anger diffused. The story transformed from conflict into character evolution. But the debate still continues. Was she justified? Was the confrontation necessary? Did Bai Lu deserve the public call-out? Or was it simply two ambitious stars navigating a competitive world where perception shapes legacy? One thing is undeniable. Shen Yu shattered the expectation that silence equals grace. She proved that calm voices can deliver the strongest impact. She reminded everyone that dignity defended respectfully is not aggression. It is strength. And now the question turns to you. If you were in her position, would you have remained silent? Or would you have spoken your truth regardless of the consequences? Because sometimes progress requires confrontation. Sometimes loyalty demands clarity. And sometimes the most powerful move is simply refusing to let your story be rewritten. If this story made you question ambition and loyalty in your own life, share it. If you believe integrity matters more than image, let your voice be heard. Because in a world obsessed with climbing higher, the real power lies in how you rise.